Hi everybody, my name is B, and welcome to the Knit Soul podcast. You can find me as 2013 Chick on Ravelry and on my blog at aknitsoul.wordpress.com. This episode is called My Secret's Out because my secret is out. My mom apparently watched my podcast last week, and so now she knows about the sweater. The sweater is supposed to be a surprise for Mother's Day. This is the right front that I'm working on right now. Of course, I'm finished with all the other pieces. This is the last piece. Then I have to do the ribbing around the neck and the front band, and then I'll be finished. But I was kind of disappointed because it was going to be... I was kind of disappointed because it was going to be a really awesome surprise for Mother's Day. I've been working on it since December. But like she said, if I don't want people to know my secrets, then I shouldn't put them on the internet. Okay, but anyway, this is the Rivel cardigan by, oh God, Miriam Felton, and this is the right front, and so I'm almost done, and I think I'm in good time to finish it by Mother's Day. Next work in progress is the Ona shawl. And I haven't gotten much done. I put in a little marker, just like 4 rows. And I'm on the 7th repeat out of 9 for the stitch pattern. Next is my Level Up socks out of Knit Picks Felici Fingering by Heather from Highland Handmaids. So they're just socks with a little cable pattern, and I'm just making them ankle socks because I don't really like long socks. Next is the Spectra, which I got 3 more wedges done, but still it looks basically the same. And this is the Knit Picks gloss. This I hand dyed, and this is the cranberry colorway. Next up in works in progress is my Hue Shift Afghan, and I did some more squares and started on the 2nd row. So this row is going to be the same colors that aren't purple, but the purple is going to be replaced by blue. And finally we have the Kasu Cowl, which I made a mistake. This is supposed to be seed stitch, not ribbing. But I'm just going to keep it like that because I think it still looks nice. And once it's blocked out, it'll still be a pretty cool cowl. The first finished object, I finished the Etta hat that I was making for my friend. It is a beret, little slightly slouchy beret style hat. I used size 6 needles and Cascade 220 superwash yarn. Really cool pattern, really fast. Especially once I got some Addy Turbo 6s instead of the bamboo ones I started with. And also, I made some gauge swatches. These are for the Palm to Pin cardigan by Amy Christoffers, and I was testing to see what kind of yarn I would use. So this is Cascade 220 Sport. This is Barocco Vintage DK. And this is Knit Picks Stroll Sport. So what I did is I cast on 25 stitches, and then I knit a row and purled a row, and then I did 2 repeats of the pattern, and then I blocked them. So this one ended up being 5 inches by about 4.5 inches. This one ended up being 6 inches by 4 inches. And this one ended up being 6 inches by 5 inches. So this one is closest to the gauge. The stitch gauge is correct for the pattern. on this one, how I blocked it, and the real gauge is like slightly big. As far as the texture, I like this one the best. While I was knitting this, I remembered why I told myself I would never knit with this Cascade 220 Sport again after I made my merging ripple shawl, because the yarn just feels really rough while you're like pulling it through your hand. It's not that bad once you block it, but I just didn't like it. These two I just had in my stash, but this one I ordered from knitpicks.com. So I don't know if I'm going to go with this colorway. I think I will because I really like it. I really like the teal color, and I think it'll be nice, but of course it's going to be about $50 for all of the yarn, so I'll have to wait and save up some money to make it. Okay, now on to explorations. First up in explorations is combing wool. The first time I heard of combed top, which is what you produce when you comb wool, was I bought some Shetland from Wool Gatherings, and I found that it was really easy to spin and draft, and actually using my drop spindle at the time, I didn't have to pre-draft it. And so I messaged her on Etsy and asked her what sort of was the difference between that and regular roving, and she said that it's actually called comb top. And fast forward to a couple weeks ago, I was just browsing around and saw that someone made something called a hackle and comb, and basically you use a hackle to blend fibers, but it does the same thing that two combs would. This is real comb top and I just split it, but I don't have to pre-draft this at all when I draft it, and it just pulls off really easily, and all the fibers are parallel, and spinning it is really easy. So as you can see, this is a Shetland that I was speaking about. And this is roving, which is carded in a big machine in the mill and then pulled off in strips. And I dyed this, so it would have been white when it was pulled off. But the fibers, as you can see, are not aligned. They're not separated. Part of it is the dyeing process. I didn't felt it. It's not felted. It will draft. But you have to work a little harder to draft it. And so it offers a little bit more resistance. Next up in explorations is building the spinning wheel. During my spring break, I hung out with my grandpa, and together we put together this spinning wheel. I usually excuse the black stuff in there. I used the instructions from the electric eel wheel to put together the box and the flyer, and also put together a circuit board, which I don't have right here with me, but it turned out that the circuit board really did nothing for this little motor. So I had to come up with another solution, which is this. This is a sewing machine motor, and I bought it in a set with a foot pedal. And this idea I got from instructions I purchased on Etsy to make a spinning wheel. I take the belt and I put it around the pulley on the motor, and I have to twist it because the motor automatically spins counterclockwise. There's no way for me to change that, so I have to twist it in order for the flyer to spin clockwise so I can spin. The spinning wheel does work. I've been working on spinning the Shetland. This is the first bobbin. One thing that I'm having trouble with is getting enough spin onto in the actual the wool when I spin it. So you can see that's the, and obviously it's like slightly variegated in the thickness, and it is fuzzy, but that doesn't bother me. This is the second, and I was having trouble getting it started again, so I decided to give it a break for a few days. Because of the failed experimenting and all of that, and some things I had to buy extra parts for, and trying to get things to work, and then including some of the extra tools we had to buy. Total, it cost about $300. If you already have a drill and a saw, and you go with the sewing machine motor up front, which this is $30, then it'll cost you about $150. So that's of course a lot different than the $800 for a mini spinner, or about $350, $400 for the cheapest sort of regular spinning wheel, which I don't have space for a normal spinning wheel anyway, which is why I didn't attempt to get one. Yeah, so I guess regrets, I do regret that so much was wasted because I didn't have the appropriate skills, or, you know, it could have been I did fine and just the actual printed circuit board didn't actually work. I mean, I would never know because I don't have a way to really diagnose that. But that's the only thing that I wish I had done differently. I enjoyed putting it together with my grandfather, so if you have a person in your life who like has tools and likes to put stuff together, I say like call them and see if they'd like to help you put it together. So that's all for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. Check out the blog, which has the show notes, as well as find me on Ravelry if you'd like. And I hope that you will come back next week to watch again.